Hello, my name is Mark and welcome to I'm Organic Gardening. We broke a record yesterday, a temperature record. Unbelievable. It was June 2nd yesterday and we got up to 95 degrees. That's insane. That's just insane for this time of the year. And the record was 93 degrees and that was over 120 years ago in 1893. Believe it or not, that it got to, let's say, 93 degrees. So we got to 95 yesterday and we broke that record. So what else has been going on? In the last 30 days, we've only had a half-inch of rain. So that's why I'm out here in the garden and want to share with you, you gotta get your mulch on. I know a lot of people, and I see a lot of people that are in, say, warm areas and they don't like mulch. They might have fire ants, they might have snakes, but if you can do a mulch of certain kinds, and we're gonna go over them, it's to your benefit, because tomatoes love not wet soil, but they love moist soil. It will stop blossom end rot. It will produce more tomatoes for you because that plant is constantly bringing up water and evaporating it and its leaves to the atmosphere to stay cool. So we're going to keep your tomatoes stay cool to a certain point so they grow and they don't have a problem, because then all that equates to more tomatoes for you because the blossoms don't dry out and everything just working well with harmony in nature. So let's first check our soil temperature, because I'm very curious. If it was 95 degrees yesterday and it got down to 65 last night and now, like it says, it's 68 degrees, how does that soil temperature react and did it cool down around our tomato plants? So let's get a good reading on the soil and let's go into it of how to keep your tomatoes moist roots all the time, and it gets you better tomatoes and also more tomatoes and more blossoms. So here's our first tomato plant, and this has been in the ground for only a couple days now. I've actually been planting later than normal, and you can see here on our soil thermometer we have 66 degrees our soil temperature. Now you don't have to do this just to tomato plants. You should also check your soil temperature in the rest of your garden. Mulch is great to apply around any type of plant that you have. It depends the type of mulch. Now what I've been using over the years is leaf mold or leaves, and that can just do a fantastic job here of protecting that plant from, let's say, harsh conditions of getting up there in that high soil temperature range. We really don't want our soil temperature to get, let's say, above 75 or to 80 degrees during the day, because what it does, it wicks that moisture out of the ground, and that's why we want to cover the ground. We never want to have exposed ground in our garden. And also it protects those microbes, because those microbes are the ones that are going to take those nutrients from the soil and make it into plant available nutrients for our tomato plant here. First thing we're going to apply is, I do have some leaf mold available, and this is from last year's fall leaves that I got delivered to the farm here, my 22-acre farm, and we're going to apply that a foot in every direction. So we're going to have a 2-foot circle around the whole plant here of fall leaves. And this is awesome because it retains that moisture in the soil so well, and we want to apply it to at least maybe 4 inches thick. Now it's nice and complete. We have a foot in every direction around the stem, and that's, you can do more, you can go out further, but it's at least you want a foot in every direction from that stem. So 2 feet across and a foot in every direction from that stem. Now we're going to water that up in a little bit and keep that soil nice and moist, so we'll have beautiful tomatoes in the future. Now, a lot of people ask me this question too, and I've never had it in the garden. So when blight comes in or other soil-borne diseases are in the ground, we're worried about those leaves touching the ground. That's not so much important, because as long as your plant is healthy and getting all that adequate moisture from below, I've never seen it, and I've had plants that are like at least 5 feet wide all over the ground with a little bit of leaf mold to protect it between the soil and also here on the ground, that it never transfers the disease from the ground to the plant. And I mean, I've had, you can look in past videos, I've had plants go out at least 3 or 4 feet in different directions, the plants hanging ground, and they're super healthy. I've never had any soil-borne diseases attack that plant. So now, the next question a lot of people ask me is, what if we don't have leaves, Mark? You actually have a business on your farm that you receive leaves in for your organic vegetable growing on your farm. You use as mulch all the time. We've seen the other videos. So now, what are we going to do? Most people will have this, and hopefully you can see it, is a nice pizza box cover or so. I love my pizza. So what we do here, and I'll show you, is that we have a cut with a slot that we can open up, put around the tomato plant. We have a circle in the middle, and also, guess what? You can cut it into two. Here also is our opening flap to water our plants in the future. So it's nice and simple and easy. Just pull the cardboard apart, and then you can also make an opening like so and put it around your tomato plant. It does the same thing as leaves. It's great. So now we're going to water our plant and also our leaf mold next to it. We're going to open the flap. Now you can do is you can order, and also too, if you want to, you can put a 2x4 down here or a brick, because it is going to blow away. But again, most likely we have cardboard. This will serve the same purpose as leaf mold and get a nice shady soil for you. So it's all good. And we also, you can cut more flaps in if you want to water it. Whatever you wish to do, it works great. So let's give our leaf mold a good drink here, all around. And you can do this like once or twice after you apply your, let's say, leaf mold around a plant, and it will be great. And also too, wetting the leaves and keeping them moist will stop them from blowing away, so you don't have to worry about it. So we're going to give this a nice ample drink, but I just want to show you that ahead of time. And the same thing we're going to do with our flap open here. Just give it a good, let's say, inch of water in there, and we can fill that up very nicely. And it's going to do the same thing for shading our soil and reduce our soil temperature. Very cool. The next thing a lot of people ask also too, Mark, isn't that cardboard going to harbor slugs and snails and maybe cutworms or grubs? Any covering in your garden is going to do something, but it also provides a habitat for something else, frogs, or now your soil is, let's say, more adequately moist, and then you have something called nematodes that actually will eat bacteria and fungi and then poop out nutrients to your plant here. But those nematodes, and there's all different types of nematodes, and a lot of people hear root nematodes and they're like, oh, I don't want them, they're going to kill my plant. Yes, they are, but there's only 1% bad nematodes. There's 99% better nematodes, and what that's going to do, even in leaf mold, and they're going to grow up to be bigger, they will attack your slugs and snails in the soil, and you go inside their bodies and kill them off. There's other different types of nematodes, and that's what you want in nature. You want those beneficial things to come forward and do the right thing for you. So remember, after watering, close that flap down and just push it back in place. And also too, you can put a brick across that or a stone, and that's also good to, let's say, a watering area. You can just remove it and water in there. You can also water around the hole, but it's just going to take a little bit longer. But if you enjoy watering in your garden, it's a great thing to do, and it's a great way to relax. I want to thank you so very much for watching this video. Again, get your mulch on, and don't be scared of it. It's actually more beneficial than you can ever imagine. So please give this video a good thumbs up, and I'll see you shortly with another video. Thanks. Enjoy your day and happy gardening.